Hi, my name is Heather Head. I'm the director for Generation Station. I'm excited to welcome our potential new families to this presentation. First, I want to talk about what we are. So, Generation Station is an intergenerational after-school program for kids that are in TK through second grade, along with older adults who are 65 years and older and who live in a care facility. So we're a laboratory school, and that model can be applied to other areas in the future in the various communities around us. In our community, our participants engage in activities and build relationships, and they mutually learn from each other, imparting wisdom from what they know. And lastly, Generation Station is a vital bridge between age gaps in the community who might not otherwise connect, and we bring people together in a safe, comfortable central space. I also want to note that we have received the honor of Program of Distinction through Generations United, which is the highest honor that an intergenerational program can get. We're very excited to have that. A couple of fast facts about us. Generation Station, first of all, is free to all participants, thanks to ongoing generous grants from Generations United and the Penn State Intergenerational Program. We are open Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m., and our program runs from September through May in accordance with the local school district calendar. We have 2 rooms at our center, and each room can have 20 children and 20 grandfriends. That's because we want to maintain a 10-to-1 child to a staff ratio with highly qualified staff and employees who are specifically trained in our model. Lastly, we provide transportation for children and older adults from some locations in the community. We have a transportation service to take some students from local elementary schools, and again, with our older adults, they can get transportation from care facilities to our program. Why are we an intergenerational program? Well, I'm going to take an excerpt from the Generation United's Making the Case for Intergenerational Programs pamphlet and just read a couple benefits, because there are benefits to everyone in this model. First, the children in elementary school have better reading and writing skills. They have better executive functioning skills. They have better patience and compassion and empathy, and then lower mental health issues when they attend programs like this. They also have better mood management, and they have better diets and nutrition in general. And then our older adults or our grandfriends also have a lot of benefits when they participate. They have decreased social isolation, and they have a better quality of life, and they have more purpose in life than before they start. They also have cognitive improvement when they attend, and they reduce their risk of falls and frailty, and it actually will increase their strength and balance when they attend, because they're walking and getting around and interacting with younger kids, and it keeps them young. So, in addition, all ages can benefit, so the family members and the caregivers as well reduce their social isolation that comes from that day in, day out care of being in charge of an older adult or being in charge of a young person, and they also increase their sense of community by being involved. So our mission and philosophy. Our mission is that we are to be a safe, supportive after-school program where children and older adults can gather and learn from each other. Participants will make lasting connections and memories, increasing their empathy and understanding of those around them. So our program philosophy draws on concepts of Balt's lifespan perspective, which is emphasizing that development is lifelong and changing all the way from the womb to the tomb. And our development is contextual and multidirectional, which means that everyone can learn at any age depending on what situation they find themselves in. And in our case, they find themselves in an intergenerational program where they learn from each other and new skills and so much more. So we have goals for the participants in our program. First, the children, we have a goal for them to develop those positive relationships with the older adults daily. We want them to learn to accept people who are different from them, either by age, background, or culture. And we want them to increase their social emotional intelligence, their problem-solving skills, and their knowledge of the world around them. For our grandfriends or older adults, we want them to impart their wisdom and an attitude of tolerance to the children. We have a goal for them to reduce their loneliness and the risk of their social isolation through all of the relationships they form. And we would love to see them improve their physical and mental health. And lastly, we have goals for our parents and family members as well, because we have a unique concept, which I'll talk about a little bit more later. We want them to participate in our monthly family activities to strengthen our classroom community, and we also want to help create interactions between older adults and children outside of program hours. That is our second goal for our parents and family members. Let's look at our facilities, shall we? First, our overall facility. It contains 2 large classrooms, and they both access the outdoor environment through sliding glass doors onto a huge wooden deck that has shaded areas for relaxing and doing activities and have natural conversations. Then we have a ramp that leads down into a large grassy area where there are benches that the older adults can sit on, comfortable chairs, and then we have some play equipment and rocks and trees to climb for the children and plenty of space for them to run around. We also have a large greenhouse room that has raised gardening beds for the older adults and children to garden throughout the year, and there's some tables in there and chairs for them to work on projects if the weather is not as good. If it's rainy, they can still go out there and enjoy themselves. Lastly, we have a flat path all the way around the perimeter for our participants to go on walks together in a safe way, and it's completely fenced in for safety of everyone. Looking more closely at our rooms, we have 2 classrooms, and they're set up for optimal enjoyment by all of our participants, both young and old. There's plenty of comfortable seating. We have age-appropriate materials for our children to do during homework time or at the end of program or beginning of program if needed. We are really excited that we have a kitchen in each room to do cooking activities for our whole group, because food is very, very important for relationships, and our older adults might have recipes they want to share, and the children might have things they want to teach our older adults food-wise as well. We have large family-style tables to do all of our projects and snacks and homework on, and we have a cozy reading area for people who need to decompress and be in a quiet area. Our rooms are accessible, spacious, and clean, and we have a lot of large windows and sliding glass doors to let in light from outside. Let me talk about our curriculum a little bit. So we use a lesson plan approach in which our teachers are facilitators who are carefully planning thematic units of exploration that all help support our relationship building and learning opportunities. Our teachers will adjust and hone the lessons to align with our individual classroom's interests and preferences as they can. So each month we have a word that is our theme, and then we break that down and do different things in that month related to that word. So for example, we have gratitude for November, and so we'll have gratitude to the important people in our lives. We'll talk about our favorites. We'll talk about traditions that we're grateful for, and then things in nature that we're grateful for. And then in March, we'll talk about growth, the growth of plants, how they grow. We'll measure different things in the classroom, ourselves, different things we eat, our favorites. We'll practice things and grow in life skills, and then we'll learn about grit and how to grow in our ability to persevere. So every month has a different theme, different area of focus. We also have a yearly overview calendar that weaves concepts that will strengthen those relationships daily and constantly. We like to find some fun, whimsical ways to celebrate joy every day. So each month we also will do activities throughout the days that align to like National Day of days. So there's like the National Dice Day, National Rubber Ducky Day, National Groundhog Day, National Sandwich Day, and we'll just do something related to those fun days throughout the year. We have an important part of our policy, which is that we have an open contact policy. And that's different from traditional care facilities because we want our participants to share contact info and do things outside of program hours together. So we want the kids to go visit their grandfriends in the care facility. We want the families to invite grandfriends over for dinner or to birthday parties or sporting events. And lastly, having families attend our monthly events is expected, though it's not enforced, like you won't get kicked out, but we really, really want to push for families to attend our monthly event because that strengthens our classroom community. With all that said, we would love if you join our family at Generation Station. If you want to, please apply through our website. We have to get those applications in by August in order to be considered for our 2026-2027 year. And because we're so popular, we recommend doing it as soon as possible to avoid being on the wait list. All of our contact information is right there for your convenience. Thank you so much. I've loved having this talk with you. Again, I'm Heather Head, Director of Generation Station. Please don't hesitate to contact me with any questions, and we hope to see you soon. Thank you so much and have a great day.